Hello and welcome back to Paddock and Track, the show where we bring you news on and off the track. I'm Max, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, Amaan.
What's up, guys?
And today, we are finally back.
Oh, yes, finally. It's been quite a while. Let's not get into specifics about that one, but
it's okay. But we are back today with the Miami Grand Prix. So let's just jump straight in, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Now, this race is one of the, I don't know if lucky few is the right word, but one of the few that does have a sprint associated with it.
Yeah, but, it's Miami, so I don't know.
This is true.
So I don't even think it deserves a sprint.
It's kind of a weird track. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really know what it almost has curves. Like, I think turns like 4, 5, and 6. They almost remind me of like Silverstone,
And then
like Maggots and Beckett's, but if it was like worse.
And then the final corner, of course, the sharp turn all the way around.
I don't think it's that bad. I don't know.
I think it's pretty bad.
I don't know.
I think it's pretty sharp. You have to slow down a lot. It's like in Canada when you have to do that one turn.
Yeah, it's just a hairpin.
Yeah, but it's like,
bad. I don't know. But getting into the sprint here, so kind of a strange qualifying, especially departing from what we usually see.
Mm-hmm.
Kimi Antonelli on pole.
Yes, very good for the rookie.
Yeah, right. And I mean, he's still pretty new to this. And he's like you said, he's still a rookie. He's still pretty young. And
Yes.
yeah, P1 for him in the Mercedes, and then both of the McLarens following up right behind them.
Not surprised there.
Not really. So we have Piastri second, Norris fourth, and then Verstappen coming up behind them, as usual in the Red Bull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So normal what we see from the four-time champ. Wait,
Yeah.
am I like stupid?
No, 4-time champ. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. But yes, we also see George Russell. So Antonelli's teammate down in P5, the more experienced of the two. But so we see Antonelli bringing that Mercedes up into P1, and then we see both the Ferraris, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, in P6 and P7. And then we see the Williams of Alex Albon down in P8.
Now the other Williams, Carlos Sainz is down in 15th, so not the best qualifying for them as a team, but for Alex Albon, and we'll see that during the race too, a pretty decent race, and pretty decent qualifying for him. Isaac Hadjar up in 9th place, pretty good in that RB.
Yeah.
And then he's got Alonso behind him, and then pretty standard down the rest of the grid. There's nothing really that exciting until you get to last, which is Yuki Tsunoda. Unfortunately for him, in the Red Bull, he's still pretty new to that car, but still.
Yeah, he's in P20, Lawson's in P14. So
Yeah.
could it be the car or was it the driver?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But on the topic of racing bulls, I really, really like their livery for this race.
I do. That pink livery looks really, really nice.
It was just fun. I mean, why not just put pink livery on your car?
Yeah,
I know it's really just an ad for Red Bull, but still, I thought it was fun.
It was nice to see, the pink livery causing chaos to these other cars,
Little bit,
also to themselves. So it was nice to see.
Yeah, it was fun. And then so weirdly enough, the reconnaissance lap, so the lap before they go to the grid, so this is before even the formation lap, everything, they do like a practice start and then they go and they do a lap. Charles Leclerc managed to crash, so that was kind of sad. So it was, to be fair, it was very wet.
Really wet. Yeah.
But
you said was he on the inters?
I think he was probably on inners.
Because he just lost control of the car.
Yeah,
it was just too wet.
I mean, he just hydroplaned, which is easy enough to do. But it's kind of unfortunate. He hadn't even started the race yet, and just already.
Yeah, I mean, also it was an interesting strategy of putting him on the inters, but I mean, it makes sense why.
Well, yeah, because you're gonna start him on the inters. You're not gonna put him on wets just for one lap.
Yeah, because they probably had the green light where it was like, oh yeah, before the race starts, the rain's gonna let up, so it's gonna be fine on inters.
Yeah.
But then just on the reconnaissance lap,
clearly, was not. So that was kind of sad. We've seen Charles Leclerc crash on formation lap before, but I don't know if we've ever seen him crash on the reconnaissance lap. So kind of sad. For already an unfortunate man in this sport.
Yeah. And then we see Kimi Antonelli. Okay, as when the race begins, already we see places change. We see Kimi Antonelli lose 3 positions in turn 1. He didn't have the patience.
Yeah, no.
Because he clearly lost the position to Piastri.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to make it.
No.
And then, but he tried to like overtake from the outside, and he just couldn't. He couldn't do it, so he just was forced off the track.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then just lost his 3 positions.
And
so.
it wasn't really even. I wouldn't have said it was Piastri's fault or anything like that.
I think Piastri made the corner. It's
Yeah.
just that Antonelli would just refuse to give up the position. Like
Yeah.
try to
Which you understand, but I think that's part of. I mean, he is still a rookie at the end of the day, and I think part of that is the fact that he doesn't have like. I don't know if the maturity is the right word, but like the ability to be like, okay, I should just back out of this and come back and try and keep fighting it later. Like that you could see that he doesn't have the ability to make decisions like that yet.
It makes sense too. I mean, he is a rookie too, and this is his first pole position.
This is true.
So he was probably like caught up in the moment, like, oh yeah, I'm like, I don't want to mess this up.
Yeah.
So then he tried to like fight to get that position back, and it just didn't end up well for him.
Yeah. Well, and it's always hard too because in the wet there's a ton of spray.
Yeah.
Now for him in first place, theoretically there's no spray because there's nobody in front of you. Yeah. But then as soon as you start to lose positions, it's like it's a mess because you just you can barely see anything.
Yeah.
And so now you've lost 1, 2, 3 positions, and now it's like. Okay, now it's a struggle to catch back up, and it's rainy, so it's wet on the track, and it's slippery, and so then it's a pain. So yeah, it's a shame for him again, especially because he did start in first place, which is impressive for him again as a rookie. But this is how it goes. You got to learn somehow.
Yeah, and then later up in the race, we see the track actually drying up. So then we see a lot of pit stops to change that compounds to the soft compounds.
And some
are not soft, like the hard.
The
dry,
slick tires.
The slick tires. Yeah.
Some of the drivers were more fortunate than others.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen and Kimi Antonelli. Again, Antonelli. This was a horrible race for him. I almost feel bad. Basically, they were both in the pit lane. Verstappen got released from his pit box as Antonelli was coming into his, and they ran into each other.
Yeah.
Really, this was Red Bull's fault, not necessarily Max Verstappen's fault.
They just released him.
Yeah.
But this is unfortunate for Antonelli, though.
Yeah, because he didn't get to pit then.
No, it was basically a drive-through penalty. Like, he even though he had no penalty, he just had to go through the pits, and thankfully he did not have damage on his car, though.
Yeah, he basically hit the Max
Verstappen did. He had damage to his front wing, and I think that cost him his race.
Yeah, basically. And honestly, it's like once you kind of screw up one pit stop, it kind of messes up your whole race.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the sprint when there's not that many laps.
Yeah. So this did give Max Verstappen a 10-second penalty, so also not helping his case. And then we saw a couple random weird things happen. So Sainz hit a wall, got a big puncture. It wasn't even really a puncture because the tire came off of the wheel.
Yeah.
And then Alonso ran in. Well, Alonso got hit from behind, and then his tire came off. But they were both out of the race pretty much right away.
Yeah.
But this was when we finally saw some luck in the pit stops. So Lando Norris had went into the pits when Alonso got hit, and so the everyone else then they called a safety car. So everyone else had to slow down, and the safety car is in the pit lane. So they were leaving the pit lane.
Yes.
And Norris was coming out of the pit lane as the safety car was leaving. So he managed to stay in first. So Piastri had been leading for a while up until this point, and they had pit Piastri a couple laps before Norris. And then now they were pitting Norris. And then, he got very, very lucky with that safety car, and he came out still ahead of Piastri, which ultimately I think is what gave him the win.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy because we saw that race end basically on a virtual safety car.
Well, under the full safety car.
Was it the full?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. Because it was... Oh, so Sainz crashed, and that was the virtual safety car. But then during the virtual safety car, Alonso crashed, so then the full safety car came out. Yeah, that's what happened.
But what I will say is that Lewis Hamilton managed to make up a couple positions. Started 7th, made it all the way up to 3rd. Russell made up a couple into 4th, and then somehow Lance Stroll made it into 5th.
I feel like Lance Stroll just takes advantage of some situations that happen.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good.
Also, Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh.
Made it from 20th to P6, so a very valiant effort from him. And then we also saw Kimi Antonelli, unfortunately, 7th place. Not great, again, especially considering where he started, but when you think about everything that happened to him throughout this race, I'd say pretty decent run from him.
Yeah, but he also got passed by P20 Tsunoda and Lance Stroll.
This is true.
I mean, that must have been really derailed his race then.
Yeah. And then Pierre Gasly making up a bunch of places. Nico Hulkenberg. Also, Gasly rounds off the final points paying position. But Nico Hulkenberg and Isaac Hadjar up in 9th and 10th.
Yes.
Albon fell a couple of places to 11th. And then the rest of the grid is pretty standard. Verstappen all the way down in 17th. Like we said, his race got kind of messed up after those pit stops.
Unfortunate.
But now, the race.
Well, okay, so we see Max Verstappen sprint get ruined, but he did get pole. So that's pretty good for the Red Bull, especially since it's not the quickest car on the grid.
Yeah.
Still, and then, but speaking of quickest cars, we see McLaren of Lando Norris right behind him, but Kimi Antonelli splitting the two McLarens.
So another good qualifying from him. Of course, not quite as good. Antonelli in P3 here instead of course, P1.
Yeah.
But like you said, splitting the two McLarens, which are definitely at this point the fastest car on the grid.
Yeah.
And managing to take that car up to third when George Russell is fifth.
Yeah.
And so that really says something about Antonelli, especially again in his rookie year, whereas Russell's been with Mercedes for a couple years now. That really says something about Antonelli. And maybe this track is just great for him because he qualified very well, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's holding his own ahead of his obviously more experienced teammate and between two McLarens.
Yeah,
as well. We see the Williams of Carlos Sainz down in P6, so good for him. Oh, hey, sorry, the two Williams, both P6 and P7. So that's really good for the Williams cars.
Yeah, no, like we said, their qualifying performance for some reason in Williams, like Antonelli, has been really, really good. They were running solidly throughout the race, and the sprint was not quite as good. But I mean, hey, they qualified pretty highly, making both cars into Q3, and ahead of a Ferrari.
Yeah,
two Ferraris.
Yeah, this is a
Red Bull.
I mean, it's poor qualifying for Ferrari. We see Charles Leclerc P8 and Lewis Hamilton all the way down in P12.
Yeah, so
it's
not
very
great.
Unfortunate for Ferrari.
Yeah.
Just the woes continue for the team.
Yeah, well, especially considering that the Haas of Esteban Ocon qualified ahead of Lewis Hamilton and only one place behind Charles Leclerc, and they have the same engine. They have the same engine, but it's a Haas, right? It's versus a Ferrari, so it really shows you that, like, the Ferrari is just kind of all over the place in terms of performance. I feel like that's always how they end up recently, especially. Yeah. They'll like do really good at one race and then do horrible at the next one.
Yeah.
So they're kind of all over the place when it comes to their performance.
Yeah, and then like you said before, we see Yuki Tsunoda P10. So that was better than the P20 qualifying from the last race. Yeah. And we see him gaining control of that Red Bull car, which we hope to see. So
and above both Hadjar and Liam Lawson, which is good again for him for keeping that seat.
Yes.
I think no matter what happens, I don't think Hadjar will take a seat at Red Bull. I think he's too smart. I don't know.
I see.
But here's the thing, right? We've seen so many careers get like really ruined by Red Bull.
Yeah. Right?
Now, some careers have been great, right? Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, right? Okay. Yes. However, some of these people's careers, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, and kind of now Yuki Tsunoda and a little bit Liam Lawson. Now, not that their careers are ruined, okay? Like, obviously, Albon and Gasly, they're still in Formula One.
Yes, but they're not on good teams.
Yeah, they're not on top teams.
Yeah.
You know, Gasly's in Alpine, and Williams has been doing okay recently, but they're still not a top competitor. They're not a challenger for the championship. And so it really shows you how, like, the Red Bull is just a weird car, and it's really designed for Max Verstappen. And when you're not Max Verstappen, there's, like, nothing to be done.
Yeah, and it's just the unfortunate reality.
Yeah.
Like I said before, so Yuki Tsunoda P10, Isaac Hadjar right behind him in P11, obviously Lewis Hamilton P12, and then we see Gabriel Bortoleto in the Kick Sauber P13, and then the rest of the grid looks like how it usually does. Yeah, pretty standard.
Pierre Gasly all the way at the bottom there.
Yeah.
And yeah, not really. The rest of the grid's pretty.
Yeah, we see both Aston Martin 17 and 18, so not great for them at all. So yeah.
So getting into it now, we saw almost a similar situation to the sprint where the driver in first really went hard into turn one. So in this case, it was Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Yeah, he was on pole. Never mind. But he locked up going into turn one, and Norris thought he had a chance there to take him. He clearly did not quite have the chance that he thought, or he forgot that he was going against Max Verstappen. Yeah. And so they made contact in turn one, and Norris went off track and lost 3 places in that incident.
So it seems like a Kimi Antonelli situation.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But that's the thing with Lando Norris is you can see he's trying to be aggressive, but sometimes it doesn't pay off, and sometimes I think he just needs to be a little more patient and wait. But we saw that then, like, really this didn't do anything for him because he was stuck behind Verstappen for a while, and Verstappen was kind of struggling on his tires, but he couldn't get Norris couldn't get past him at that point.
Yeah,
and so it was like you kind of took this maybe like big chance that you had at the beginning. He kind of messed it up, and then now he doesn't. Then the rest of the race, he's got to play catch up.
I mean, this also goes to show how much you need to have within yourself to be a world champion. And then there's like some mistakes that like are like you can't. It separates you from being great, or from being good and being great.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's shown with Lando Norris, where he's making mistakes that a rookie would make, like Kimi Antonelli. He did almost the same thing,
pretty much,
where he tried to take advantage of overtaking Max Verstappen, mind you, and he couldn't do it, and he's not a rookie.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not good decision making sometimes on Lando Norris's part.
And then another person's. This is weird. This is a weird trend. So Jack Doohan's tire, I mean, he got a puncture also, and his tire came off. I don't know what was happening, but that is 3 different drivers who all had tires falling off.
Yeah, that does not happen.
I don't know. But aside from that minor incident for Jack Doohan, he's kind of the most like mediocre driver. Well, not even. I don't even know what to call him. I mean, okay, look.
I think he's just there.
Yeah. He barely even has a contract at this point with Alpine. He's like right on the edge of being just dropped anyways, regardless of contract.
Yeah.
And then it's like if he just doesn't perform, but like I don't even know what a good performance is in the Alpine anymore because Alpine I feel like they've had this trend the past couple of years where like the first couple of races they really really suck. Like especially like are really really horrible, and then they sort of come back a little bit and they have like a weird random like second place
where they're just really good,
and then that's it. And so I don't really know what to say about the Alpines, but Jack Doohan just like kind of he shows up, he drives the car, but like he sometimes
makes it to the finish line.
Yeah,
maybe optionally. So it's like, right? I don't know.
So it's kind of weird. I don't really know what to say about him except that I think it's hard to not want to rush him and get him out of the car. Like as for someone at Alpine, it's like the thing that seems right to do here is just to cut him and try someone else. But it's like it's hard because he doesn't have experience. No. I mean, okay, yes, he has experience in F2, a decent amount of experience from F2, but like this is his first season still.
F1,
yeah. And so it's hard because you don't want to rush him out of the seat, but at the same time, for the sake of the team, they might need to.
Yeah.
But then who's their choice? Franco Colapinto? Is he better? I don't.
Wait, they have like a bunch of drivers lined up, right? Kush Mini.
Yeah, they've got a couple in their driver academy right now, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. Speaking of Alpine disasters, Oscar Piastri. Chasing and he eventually passes Antonelli.
Yeah.
So, standard stuff going on over here.
Yeah, it didn't seem too difficult for him. Which again is kind of what we talked about.
Another loss for Antonelli against Piastri. Piastri 2, Antonelli 0. So it's like.
But so he was able to get past him pretty quickly and then start catching chasing after Verstappen. Antonelli was running P2 at that point, and then so Piastri passed him for second place, but Verstappen was a decent ways away. He was about a second and a half or so, but very very quickly. Piastri was catching up to Verstappen, and the other thing was that Verstappen's tires were kind of going, and so the car was getting all slippery on him, so that made it easier for and the brakes. It seemed like he was having problems with the brakes, so that made it a bit easier for Oscar Piastri to get past him. But still, I mean, I was impressed because he really caught him fast.
Yeah, I mean that. We see the building of Oscar Piastri into a championship contender, and
That's
you
the
see
thing,
also
yeah.
that too. He's like handling the car really well, and he's really a challenger to Max Verstappen as like a racer too.
Well,
I mean, obviously it's Max Verstappen, but still,
yeah.
it's like
I mean, he's got the lead still after this
absolutely.
race in the championship.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be. I'm interested to see how things go. At this point, it looks like his main competitor is probably his teammate.
Yeah.
But you never know. Max Verstappen might throw something.
Never count
crazy.
him out. Never count out Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
And then we see. We see. Wait, what?
Behrman has a hydraulic leak. Like random problems just kept happening. This one is kind of interesting because we've talked about before how reliability is no longer really a concern that's made in Formula One.
Yeah.
But there's still random things like this, and I feel like usually it comes down to a hydraulic issue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, right. But like at this point, power supplies or engines.
Yeah, there's never like engine failure or like power. Like you just have no power on the car.
Almost never, right? It's been a couple years now since we've seen someone just like smoke coming out of the back of the car, and it's because the engine's like blowing out.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's been a while since we've seen that.
I mean, last year we saw Max Verstappen's brakes like explode.
Yeah, right. But never a real like power unit issue.
Yeah.
Not like it hasn't been for a couple of years now. Power supplies have gotten a lot better, I think.
Yeah.
And so this is now I think the team's biggest issue now in terms of reliability, it seems, is getting hydraulic things in order. It's usually hydraulics or it's driver error is why people come out of the race, I feel like.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
for the most part. There's occasional things where they like lose power randomly and things like that, but usually I feel like it ends up being a hydraulic thing or something from the driver.
Or something about their brakes. I mean, sometimes their brakes are just not working, or it's like,
And so it's really interesting. Just I wonder if they're gonna. I don't know the most the specifics on this for sure, but I wonder if like they're working on like something to fix this, because I feel like it seems like a very persistent issue that seems like it would require a fix.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the new cars that they design with the new regs could work towards that. I don't know how that could happen though.
Yeah.
But this is mainly like a team thing that one teams need to find this like innovation where they can like, fix this issue that's been reoccurring. I mean the engine makers have definitely fixed their power supply stuff. So I mean, let's see what the team's got for the hydraulics. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in 2026 too, because there's gonna be a lot of new components on that car.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then now we see Lewis Hamilton get the fastest lap, but still down in P9.
Yeah, this was kind of interesting to me because, he got the fastest lap, and then there was a lot of complaining on his side.
Are we surprised?
No, not really. That's pretty standard for him. But he really wanted to swap positions with Charles Leclerc. But the thing is that, he got one fastest lap, and he was doing okay, and he was catching up to Leclerc. I'll give him that. But then, nothing else happened. I mean, he was kind of just sitting there, and he was like, I need to get past Leclerc, because obviously it gets harder to pass someone once you're in the dirty air and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But he was just like, let me pass him. And then, finally, eventually they let him pass. And he didn't do anything. They ended up swapping positions back because he couldn't get anywhere. He was like, I'm way faster, let me pass. And then he wasn't any faster. Leclerc was complaining. He was like, I'm just sitting in dirty air now. You just made it worse for me and his tires. And so it's like, why did he let him? I don't know.
I don't know. It's just disaster class for Ferrari.
Right? It was kind of sad.
Yeah.
I don't really know what happened. I mean... I understand why he would be frustrated with being stuck behind someone who's going slower than him.
Yeah.
But then if you're not able to go faster than him after they let you pass, it's like,
Yeah, they just both end up slower at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I don't know. And then the last thing we'll touch on here was that at the end of the race, the gap, so it was 1-2 McLaren and then 3 was George Russell. The gap from the McLarens to Russell was about 32 seconds, which is kind of crazy. The gap between the McLarens was, I want to say, around 5 seconds. Yeah, about 4.5 seconds.
Dominance by McLaren.
But, like, I mean, they were just running away with it. And both of them, too.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, I mean, in previous seasons, we've seen just Max Verstappen, like, crazy running away.
Yeah.
But this year, like, both the McLarens are, like, really on the top of their game.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think that this championship battle between the two of them is going to be pretty tight because, I mean, look at how they performed this week. If they just keep doing that, they're going to do pretty good.
Yeah, we're most likely going to see a new champion this
Yeah, we'll
year,
see.
probably. I mean, obviously, we don't have to count out Max Verstappen yet, but I think it's going to go papaya this time around.
Yeah, only time will tell. I suppose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So looking at the finishing order, Piastri comes out on top with Norris behind him, and then Russell taking up P3. Verstappen down in 4th place for him, so not the best considering he started on pole. But still pretty decent, of course.
And we
still high
see
up there.
the Williams of Alex Albon
Yeah.
in P5.
And Sainz in 9th place, so both of them scoring points. But again, like I said, I mean, the Williams, we didn't really talk about them much, so I suppose we could touch on it now. But the Williams were really, I think, just they were pretty strong at this track, and they just stayed strong. I mean, you know, Albon was defending a Mercedes and a Ferrari behind him, and he was like doing that pretty well. He was keeping his distance, just doing his thing, running his race, and he did a really good job.
It's great to see how Williams has turned it around, especially since like they were just flat out broke. Like, they didn't have anything last year. Like when they got to a point where Logan Sargent had to give up his car for Alex Albon because they didn't have a second car.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and it was like even in seasons past, they literally had no money.
No, zero.
And Williams has been like that for a bit, and them and Haas have been like these two teams that are really the ones who are, the only ones who are like possibly struggling for money. But good for them that they've been able to turn it around this year, kind of have a couple good performances.
Yeah.
And we'll see if this can continue because again, I mean, a P5 for Alex Albon, P9 for Carlos Sainz is
pretty
not
good.
bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good for them. I hope we see something more from them in the future as well.
Yeah.
Then we see Kimi Antonelli P6. Okay, so he dropped a couple places.
Yeah, 3 places.
Yeah, but he still got that P6 position.
Yeah.
So good for him. We see the Ferraris, Leclerc and Hamilton down P7 and P8. So they did move up after that poor qualifying performance, but like not much.
Not much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yuki Tsunoda in 10th, so still picking up points, but just barely in the Red Bull.
Yeah.
With, again, like we said, like in qualifying, Isaac Hedger right behind him. But Liam Lawson, did not finish the race. I mean, he had problems. I think, I believe he got hit at the beginning, and so then that kind of messed up his whole race. But still, good for, it's not a great result considering the car he's in, but still good for him that he's actually able to put up some kind of a performance.
Yeah.
Get some points for, just to show that like he's not completely slacking at Red Bull.
Yeah.
And then we also see Pierre Gasly up in 13th. Considering where he started, it's not horrible, but otherwise pretty standard down the rest of the grid. Lance Stroll not able to repeat what he somehow managed to do in the sprint, as he was also taken out of the race. No, he finished last of the finishers.
Oh, of course.
So I don't know. Yeah, that is Miami.
Yeah, it was a pretty standard race. I mean, we see some DNFs, some mistakes, so we got to see it all.
Definitely. All right, well, that's it for us here at Paddock and Track, and we will see you guys for the next one.
Goodbye.